security. We pray for them each night and hope for the best, and looking forward to what they're going to do tomorrow, which Senator Blunt, who's with us and a part of our leadership team, can point out. They're going to bring in the experts and hear from them, people who don't have a political axe to grind one way or the other, and who are in the border security business, which strikes me as a good way to learn before making a final decision.
Well, one thing that we've seen under Republican leadership is tremendous activity in the economy. Got greater growth, 3.4% in the third quarter of last year. Record unemployment, 304,000 jobs created in the month of January, and wages are up to the highest level in the past decade. So the state of the economy is strong. And what's really interesting about what you're hearing coming out of the Democrats right now is they seem to want to reverse all that progress, because they're now talking again about government-run health care, so-called Medicare for All, which has a price tag of $32 trillion. And even if you doubled all the tax revenue that comes in today on the individual side and the corporate side, you wouldn't have enough revenue to fund this massive new proposal. They've come out with a Green New Deal, which would raise the average family's energy cost by up to $3,000 every single year. 70% top marginal tax rate, which we haven't seen since 1965. The Democrat agenda is a leftist agenda that would reverse the gains that we have made and the progress that we've made to get people back to work, to get wages back up, to get greater growth back into the economy. So Republicans are going to stay focused on that goal, and we look forward to working with this president on an agenda that will further advance the opportunity the American people and the American workers have at a better standard of living and a better quality of life for them and their families.
Well, tonight we will hear from the President with the State of the Union address, and there's lots of good news on the economy, and it's specifically jobs, jobs, jobs. We have a strong, healthy, and growing economy. You take a look at the blockbuster numbers that were out from last month. They expected 160,000 new jobs. It was 304,000 new jobs. Since the tax law was signed a year ago, 3 million new jobs in the United States. And people are seeing it in their communities, and they're seeing it in their wallets. People are having higher wages, lower taxes, so they're keeping more of their hard-earned money. The other part of it is that manufacturing jobs have gone up significantly. Actually, the largest growth in manufacturing jobs in 20 years. And I remember President Obama saying you'd have to have a magic wand if you wanted to bring back manufacturing jobs to America. With regard to the President's speech tonight, as a doctor, I want to hear what he has to say, and I'm looking forward to what he has to say on actually lowering the cost of health care and making sure people can have insurance that is available, appropriate for them, and affordable. And then, as the chairman of the Environment and Public Works Committee, I'm looking forward to hearing the President address our infrastructure and the things we need to do for our construction with regard to roads and bridges. But we're continuing to deal with the Democrat Party and Democrat candidates for president who have taken a hard left turn on health care with their Medicare for All approach, which will add to higher costs, higher taxes, longer lines, fewer choices, and this Green New Deal, which to me would be a raw deal for American families as the costs of energy skyrocket under their leftist plan.
On the negotiations, the conference committee negotiations, obviously one of the important goals here is to get all of last year's appropriating work done. There are a handful of bills that have very little controversy, but for many reasons, haven't been part of a package that got a signature on the president's desk yet. So to get that done, and as the leader mentioned, we're going to be meeting in the morning with the people who are responsible for the border. And one of the logical ways to look at this is look at their priority list and see how far down that priority list we can get with the money that we have available to get there. On the economy, with regulatory reform, common sense regulation, a better tax policy, the economy by people who are not supporters generally of the administration is being heralded as humming and booming. This is the kind of economy you have where people have money to spend. It's the kind of economy you have where people feel comfortable and secure with the job they've got, and at the same time feel like there's a realistic possibility they're going to have another one. This is the kind of economy you have when small businesses are taking the money they're making and putting it right back in the business, creating all kinds of other jobs that are part of doing that. You know, we've had 100 months now of 100 straight months of positive job growth. You have to look for a while to find another point where that kind of uninterrupted job growth has happened. And of course, last month's job growth shocked all the experts. It was more likely to find an estimate that would be half of what the job growth turned out to be than close to what the job growth turned out to be.
Folks, the economy is doing really, really well right now, and in my home state of Iowa, they are feeling it. Iowa right now is tied with the lowest unemployment in the United States at 2.4%. So no doubt what my colleagues have been talking about with the job growth, a strong economy, we see it as true in Iowa. But what I'd like to focus my comments on today, obviously, is the Judiciary Committee. We do have William Barr's nomination in front of us, and I hope that this week we're able to move him out of committee quickly, get him onto the floor of the Senate for confirmation. We'd love to do that. Mr. Barr is well qualified. Obviously, he has served already as our Attorney General. He has been confirmed not once, but 3 times by the United States Senate. So we know that he is a great nominee. Unfortunately, what we have seen in the past number of months in the Trump administration is that the Democrats are slowing down our nominations, whether it's judges or other well-qualified individuals serving within the administration. So we need to move our nominations forward. We need to break through this impasse. And I do want to thank Leader McConnell for moving so many nominations and focusing on our judges. We need to get the cabinet positions filled. And I'm going to give a shout out as well to Senator Blunt and Senator Lankford. They have worked very hard on solutions to breaking through the process that has slowed us down. We need solutions to get the administration in place. We need William Barr in place. We've passed a lot of great bills here, a lot of great legislation on opioids and criminal justice reform. We can't really move forward and implement much of that if we don't have an Attorney General in place. So all of us pulling together, we need to get these nominations done. We need to get people serving in this administration so we can get our work done. Thank you.
Well, I know so many Hoosiers look forward to hearing this evening from the President and specifically about all the accomplishments that this Republican President has been able to put forward and enact into law, working with a Republican-controlled Congress. Whether it was tax cuts that have led to the creation of 45,000 jobs in my state of Indiana, or regulatory reform or workforce development or some of the other important things that we've done in order to catalyze this economy, increase consumer optimism, and lift wages for Hoosiers and other Americans. I think it's really important that the President underscore all these accomplishments. I also predict that the President will be making a call for unity on some important unfinished business. We need to work together, Republicans and Democrats alike, to bring down the cost of health care. We need to work together to make sure that our military continues to be the strongest power in the world to keep us safe and secure. So looking forward to this evening, and I know so many Hoosiers are as well.
Leader McConnell.
Yeah.
We've been talking to the conferees, and one of the biggest things we've been hearing is that time is the enemy to finish this conference report. If the House is able to get something out of the conference report over the weekend, is there enough time to get this through the House and then get this through the Senate, run the parliamentary traps by the deadline on the 15th, and not have a government shutdown the weekend after next?
Yeah, I think there's plenty of time. When you reach an agreement, things happen rapidly around here, and we're hoping they're able to do that, and that the President indicates he's willing to sign the bill.
Mr.
Yeah.
If a resolution does come to the Senate floor to overturn emergency declaration from the president, how would you vote on that?
Well, we don't know what route the president's going to take, so I'm not going to speculate on it at this point. As you know, it is an expedited procedure with a simple majority, and there is some time delay associated with it, assuming it comes over from the House. But I'm going to withhold judgment about that until we see what he does.
Are you urging the Republican conferees to only agree with the product that the president will sign or will indicate they will sign, or is a higher priority to get bipartisan control, or at least get the conference to come to agreement?
Well, as Senator Blunt indicated, we would like to finish the appropriations process. It's been long since forgotten, but 75% of it was done before the end of the fiscal year. And we were on the way to getting all 12 bills until we ended up in the wall debate. So I'd love to see us finish the work that we're supposed to do every single year. Obviously, it would be great if the president decided to sign the bill. I think we don't yet know what his view is on this, but I think that the conferees ought to reach an agreement, and then we'll hope that the president finds it worth signing.
Did you privately urge the president not to declare a national emergency?
What I've said is pretty much what we're talking about here. What is the procedure? Excuse me. What is the procedure? We've not had the procedure before because the national emergencies that have been issued in the past have not been contentious. I'm pretty sure that this one would be. And as we were discussing earlier, it's a fairly rapid process with a simple majority vote, privileged in the Senate. So all I've discussed with the administration is simply the process.
Leader McConnell, you talk a lot about being in the personnel business. What's your view on the pace that the president's appointees getting through? Like, being nominated, you've got acting secretaries at numerous departments now, still DOD positions. Are you concerned about that at all?
We've got our hands full up here just getting the people he has nominated through. I tried to get the Democratic leader to confirm a group of about 150 non-judicial executive branch appointments on a voice vote at the end of the last Congress that had come out of committee with Democratic support. So I've got my hands full just trying to deal with this minority, to deal with the appointments that are already here, many of them on a bipartisan basis. And we've had experience with district judges where cloture was invoked and then everybody voted for the judge. So, look, as I've said before, there are times for obstruction. I've engaged in it myself. It depends on what you're obstructing. If it's something big and important, understandable. If you're just trying to throw sand in the gears so the administration can't function, unacceptable. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.